The weight of waiting is often heavier than the burden of barrenness.
How much longer, Lord?
Decades had passed. The promise had been spoken, but sometimes a promise delayed begins to feel like a promise denied. Sarah, why do you weep?
I am too old to cry, my love. It's just the heat.
Are you unwell?
I'm fine, just tired. No, it can't be. Abraham, I think I'm with child.
Sarah, are you certain?
He kept his promise after all these years. What if something happens? What if this is too much for me?
Do you think God would bring you this far just to leave you now? But carrying a promise also meant facing the reality of what had already been set into motion.
He already has a son. I will not let this be taken from me.
Fear disguises itself in many forms, sometimes as jealousy, sometimes as the need to protect. And so the time came for the promise to be fulfilled. Let them be safe, Lord.
One more push, my lady. It's a boy.
Isaac.
God has kept his word. The promise fulfilled created a new imbalance.
He is your son, too.
Yes. Where there is blessing, there is also division. How often do we feel abandoned, cast out, unseen? But El-Roi saw Hagar in the wilderness, and he sees you. His promises are not dependent on human acceptance. They are anchored in his faithfulness.
Stop that.
We were just playing.
Ishmael will not share in Isaac's inheritance.
Sarah.
Cast them out.
Sarah had waited years for this promise. She wouldn't let anything threaten it.
Listen to Sarah. Through Isaac shall your offspring be named. But I will make a nation of Ishmael as well, because he is your son.
Join us in spreading hope and kindness. Visit our website to learn more and get involved. Take these.
Papa.
My son. The wilderness was waiting, but so was God. She thought she had been cast out, forgotten, but God never forgets.
God, do you see me?
Fear not, Hagar, for God has heard the voice of the boy where he is.
El-Roi, the God who sees. How often do we feel abandoned, cast out, unseen? But El-Roi saw Hagar in the wilderness, and he sees you. His promises are not dependent on human acceptance. They are anchored in his faithfulness. El-Roi sees you. Time steals moments we wish we could reclaim. He once held his child in his arms, but life built walls where love should have stayed. This is an old photo of his estranged son. He once held his child in his arms, but life created distance. Regret is a heavy burden. The last time they spoke, there was anger, misunderstandings, pride, regret. Words spoken in anger now echoes in an empty room. Years of silence, too much distance. The fear of rejection is a heavy weight. Years of silence have built a wall. Words can build walls, but silence builds fortresses. Hagar crying out, believing she's alone. Then El-Roi calls her by name. God saw Hagar in her pain. He sees you. In the wilderness, Hagar believed she was alone, until a voice called her by name. El-Roi saw her. He sees him too. A deep breath, a simple act, dialing a number, reaching across the chasm, and on the other side, an answer. Sometimes the hardest step is the first one. A deep breath, a conversation, the first step to healing. El-Roi sees you. He sees your pain, your regret, your hope, and he calls you to take that step. Alone, weighed down, unseen. Wonder if anyone knows your struggle. If anyone sees the quiet battles you fight in the silence of the night. El-Roi does not only see, he calls you by name. They all sensing a presence. The single mother feels warmth as she reads scripture. The father feels a burden lift as he reconnects. The teenager looks up, seeing a sign of kindness. Their expressions change. A flicker of hope. God is near. A mother weary yet seen. A father burdened yet not forsaken. A teenager unnoticed by the world yet fully known by the Creator of the stars. The presence of God does not always come in thunder or fire. Sometimes it comes in the quiet, in the gentle warmth of hope returning to the heart. Feel alone? Weighed down? Unseen? She wonders if anyone knows her struggle, if anyone sees the quiet battles she fights in the silence of the night. A flashback of her life, filled with dreams and aspirations that seem so distant now. Once she dreamed of a different life, but dreams fade, and reality presses in like a storm that never passes. Yet in her weariness, a whisper remains, a promise buried beneath the weight of her burdens, waiting to be found. She wonders how long she would turn the worn pages of this old book, the words of long ago speaking into her present pain. You are the God who sees me. A fragile prayer escapes her lips. El-Roi, do you really see me? Morning comes, and with it, a glimpse of hope. No, she has not been forgotten. Oh, El-Roi does not only see, he calls you by name. There was a woman, desperate and weary, who whispered a prayer into the void, and help came when she least expected it. The single mother feels warmth as she reads scripture. The father feels a burden lift as he reconnects. The teenager looks up, seeing a sign of kindness. Their expressions change. A flicker of hope. God is near. God is watching over them. Modern testimonies of El-Roi sees you, a woman who prayed in despair and received unexpected help. I was at my lowest, feeling completely abandoned, and then, out of nowhere, a neighbor came with exactly what I needed. It was like God sent an angel. A man who forgave his father after years of separation. There was a man carrying the weight of unforgiveness for years, and grace led him back to his father, to a love that was waiting all along. Man, I held on to so much anger for years, and it weighed me down. One day I felt a nudge to forgive. When I did, it felt like a huge burden lifted from my shoulders. I knew God was there. A teenager who was on the verge of losing hope but found friendship. There was a teenager, lost in the shadows, believing no one would ever see them, and one act of kindness changed everything. Teenager. I felt invisible at school, like no one cared. But one day, a classmate reached out to me. That small act of kindness changed everything. I felt seen. Their stories are different, yet their truth remains the same. They were never truly alone, and neither are you. God sees you. You are not alone. In the moments when you feel most unseen, remember, El-Roi sees you. You are not alone. The sun rises over the horizon, washing the earth in golden light. A new day, a new beginning. They are anchored in his faithfulness. El-Roi sees you. In our darkest moments, when isolation and despair seem overwhelming, remember that his gaze never wavers, his love is steadfast, and his presence is eternal. You may feel unseen, but you are not forgotten. You may feel lost, but you have never been beyond his sight. The same God who saw Hagar in the wilderness sees you now. He sees the tears that fall in silence. He hears the prayers whispered in the night. His promises are eternal. She remembers a lost loved one, tears in her eyes, but a look of peace on her face. El-Roi, the God who sees, walks with you through every trial, every joy, every sorrow. A community coming together, helping one another, showing acts of kindness. In every act of kindness, in every moment of compassion, his presence is felt, his promises are fulfilled. The sun fully risen. You are not alone, you are seen, you are loved. El-Roi sees you always. Thank you for watching. Like, share, turn on the notification button, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories and updates. Thank you.